Hey, what's up YouTube? Back with another. Today, we're going to be talking about a player that I think is going to have a really, really special season. This player has had a really good past couple seasons. Came basically out of nowhere and is becoming one of the best at his position in the NFL. And this player is Darren Waller. Now you're already probably thinking, what do you mean? This player is already great. He's one of the best in the league. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think he's going to take an even bigger step this year and maybe make first team All-Pro for the first time in his career. So, Darren Waller is a tight end that currently plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. He previously played for the Baltimore Ravens. He had some difficulties off the field, I believe with drugs or something like that. He was released by the Ravens, and the Oakland Raiders had faith. They found they saw a spark in him. They signed him, and basically ever since, the dude has been popping off. So talk about hitting basically rock bottom and then going all the way to the sky limit. That's what Darren Waller is going right now. But as we all know, I don't think this dude's at the top. I don't think he's at his peak. I think this year is going to be even better than his previous years. And I'll tell you why. So, one day, I believe it was 2018 or 2019, I pick up Darren Waller from fantasy football because, I think he was the only good player on the team at wide receiver. He's not a wide receiver to tight end, but virtually the only player that can catch the ball. I pick him up week 1 or 2. Dude literally pops off the rest of the year, gets 1,100 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in 2019 with the Oakland Raiders. This dude has a breakout season. His previous seasons weren't even comparable. 2015 to 2018, he only played 3 of those years, and his combined yardage in all 3 of those years was only 168 yards. You look at 2019, literally 9 times the amount of that in one season. So no one saw this coming. I think he's the second best tight end in the league behind Travis Kelce. But this year, I believe he's going to take a step and maybe become the next Travis Kelce, maybe even better. Travis Kelce's an insane player. He's top 10 in the league for a reason. But Darren Waller, he's going to make a big leap this year at the tight end position. All right, here's the reason why. So in 2019, like I said, 1,100 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. 2020, with the Las Vegas Raiders, he makes the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career. He plays all 16 games. He has 1,196 receiving yards, so only around 50 more than the previous season, but he has 6 more touchdowns. He gets 9 touchdowns this year. Taking a big leap from the previous year, only getting 3 touchdowns. Now he has 9. So we already know this dude is basically, a red zone machine. And he's like a receiver. He gets the yards after the catch. He's always open. So without any injuries in those 2 years, and I'm assuming, this year's going to be injury-free, don't you think these numbers are just going to go up? It's common sense that he's getting better and better every season, but now that he's basically secured the number 1 receiving spot on the team as a tight end, I think these numbers are just going to increase even more. Now, you're probably wondering, what do I mean by number 1 receiving position on the team? Well, that's what he is. Last season, I would say it was Nelson Agholor, but Nelson Agholor's not on the team anymore. We look at the wide receivers for the Las Vegas Raiders. Got second-year players, Henry Ruggs and Bryan Edwards, and Hunter Renfrow. Really? This wide receiver group is a joke. Henry Ruggs, he was a disappointment for the Raiders last year, and Bryan Edwards, I think he was their 3rd-round pick. I don't even think he played more than 10 games, probably got injured. So we got 2 rookies, and then Hunter Renfrow. Well, Hunter Renfrow, really, bro? So if you look at the number 1 receiver on this team, it's Darren Waller at tight end. I believe Bryan Edwards has the most potential out of the receiving group. Henry Ruggs is fast, but there was just no connection there for some reason with no friggin' Derek Carr. But if you're looking for a fantasy sleeper, Bryan Edwards might be it. But we'll see that later in the year. So it's basically established. Darren Waller's receiver number 1 at a tight end position. So, as we all know, Henry Ruggs really fast. It draws the attention of a defense. He might be the number 1, guarded wide receiver. So it just leaves more and more opportunities to just throw the ball at Darren Waller. The dude's tough. He'll get you extra yards after the catch. I think he's a yak monster. He's good down the field. You can throw like 30-yard passes to him. He's decently fast. And literally, he's the next Travis Kelce. I literally think his stats are going to be in the 1,300 receiving yards, maybe even higher than that. And I expect probably 12-plus touchdowns this year, assuming he plays all 16 games. Now, a good offense has good players on it, but a good offense also, it gives you good stats. And this offense is pretty decent. If Darren Waller was on the worst team in the league, it's kind of obvious to say the stats wouldn't be as good, right? So he was on like the Lions or something. But if he's on a decent offense that can keep drives going by using other receivers or, the running back position with Josh Jacobs, it's just more opportunity to get more yards, more receptions, more touchdowns. And this offense is decent. Darren Carr is pretty good. Josh Jacobs is a really good running back. The wide receiver depth isn't the best, but we saw last year with basically the same exact offense minus Nelson Aguilar that this team's decently good and it scores points. It can, and that's mostly due to Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller. So just the overall point that the wide receiver depth chart kind of bad. It gives Darren Waller a number 1 position on this team to make the most plays, to get more receptions than other players. And as the season progresses, this wide receiver depth is going to get better and better and better. And as it gets better, more defensive safeties, corners, all that kind of stuff, they're going to be on the receivers, just leaving Darren Waller wide open, getting more receptions, more receiving yards. And man, oh man, I think this dude has the opportunity to easily make first all-team pro as a tight end. I believe he's better than Kittle, but Travis Kelce is the only tight end in the league that's better than him. And I think Travis Kelce will always remain as the best, but Darren Waller's stats this year, last year he had receptions 107, 1,196 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns. I expect the receptions to go probably around 125, or maybe that's an exaggeration, maybe not, but around that, maybe 120, leading to more receiving yards, probably around 1,300 plus, more touchdowns, around 12 plus touchdowns. His yards after catch are also pretty good. It's not the best in the league, but it's pretty decent. And I expect this man to have a really good season next year. So what do you think about Darren Waller? What do you think about, honestly, I want to know your opinions about the wide receiver depth for the Raiders, including Hunter Renfrow, friggin' Henry Ruggs, and Bryan Edwards. Do you think they're going to have a good career? Do you think they're going to help Darren Waller get even better? Or is Darren Waller just going to be the number 1 target on this team? And realistically, that could be kind of bad because defenses will only cover him, but we'll see what happens. But Darren Waller's going to have a really good season. Maybe the Raiders have a good record. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's because of him. Maybe it's not because of him. Thanks for watching. Adios.